So when it comes to developing interactive PDFs in InDesign, we want to learn a few different techniques. As you can see looking through my document at the moment, it's very basic and just has a little bit of a layout. And this layout was all created through master pages. And what we want to learn first is how to create a navigation system. To start, go ahead and click Pages to the right side of your screen on your panel. And then right up here, you should have one that says A Master. I created my own, and that's why it says Port Portfolio. Double click on it, and you'll notice that in here, you can end up changing whatever you want. And by changing whatever you want in here, if your document follows along with this master portfolio or page you have set up, it will follow in suit on every single other page. So what we're going to do is inside of our master page, we're going to go down to the right side of our screen and go to Buttons and Forms. In here, you can end up clicking on this drop down menu and going to Sample Buttons and Forms. Underneath it here, you'll realize that you have several options. Some include arrows. So let's go ahead and select 138 by left clicking and dragging it down onto our screen. And we'll also do the same with 137 by left clicking and dragging it down onto our screen. When you have that done, go ahead and click on these double arrows here to hide it. Now you'll notice that when we end up having one of these arrows selected, over here in our Buttons and Forms panel comes up a few options. First off, it's asking us what type of button or form this is. We're just going to go with a normal button. We're going to change the name to Next Page. And then you'll notice that you have a drop down of events. For this, we're just going to have it on click. And then under Actions, which is under this plus bar, we're going to select Go to the Next Page. After doing so, we're going to zoom in, left click and drag down while holding the Shift key to make this proportional. And then we're just going to reposition it right where we want it. And then we're going to do the same thing for the other arrow by clicking on it, but this time we're going to name the button to Previous Page. And I spelled previous wrong there. And we're also going to make it an on click. And this is going to be Go to Previous Page. And then again, we'll left click and drag while holding Shift and make the arrow right side by side. So by doing so, now when we click on these pages, they should go back and forth from one page to the next. And since we're applying it on our master page, it should apply to every single page we have in our document, as long as they were all made as new pages through the master document that we have set up. Last but not least, when you're doing this, you're going to want to see that over here you have a few options. So for example, right now on the normal setting, they're just going to be green. But I can click on the rollover option and then go up here to my swatches category, and I can actually change the color they're going to be when you roll over them. So notice how it has a white outline now. I can even also go up here and switch them. That way the stroke is actually going to be reversible, meaning that instead of the white outline, now the white's going to be the fill and the green's going to be the outside. And I'm going to do this for both of them. Again, in order to do so, you just select your button, you go to Buttons and Forms, click on the rollover appearance here, and then go up to your swatches and change the colors appropriately. Last but not least, before we test this, I'm going to go make sure that both of my buttons are on normal for when we start. Then I'm going to out zoom. And just to make sure everything is working correctly, I'll click on Pages again. And now I will double click on my first page of my actual portfolio and document. And I'll just scroll through these pages quick, and you'll notice that each and every single one has arrows. They might not be the most amusing arrows, but for this demonstration they work accordingly. And then last but not least, you're going to want to go up to File, scroll down to Export. Make sure you name this as test if you're just doing a test document or whatever you like in accordance to what step of the process you're at. And make sure that your format is Adobe PDF Interactive. Then click Save. And when this pops up, all you gotta do is make sure that it's on Pages and then hit OK. And then end up clicking OK for the next two. And then after this is done exporting, it should open up for us and we should be able to test it. So it'll end up opening up in Acrobat. Here it is. Let's zoom down so you can see easier. A little bit more. And now when we click, it goes to the next pages. So back to contact, back to video, photography, latest tutorials. And there you have it. That's all you gotta do in order to create buttons. The next thing we're gonna learn about is how to jump to a specific page by setting destinations and bookmarks.